What's up, everybody? Reggie Edwards from the Front Row Report. I am honored today to have the one, the only, Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses. Dizzy, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. Just hanging out at home for a rare, brief moment, and just getting ready to pack my suitcase once again and head back east and play some rock and roll music.
Outstanding, man. Yes, Rock on the Range next week. It doesn't get any better than that here in the United States of America. Rock on the Range. How excited is Guns N' Roses to be playing the biggest rock festival in the country?
Well, very excited, and I didn't realize until just now that it was the biggest rock festival in the country. So now I'm even more excited.
Awesome, yeah.
And you know what? It's in Ohio, which is the state. That's the birthplace. That's where rock and roll is born.
Absolutely.
So we're ready, man. We're going to come and we're going to bring it.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. This will be my first Guns N' Roses show. My mom, the first concert she went to, I believe, was Guns N' Roses, and so it's going to be awesome for me to be able to finally see you guys. I'm really looking forward to it.
We transcend the generations. We do.
You do, absolutely. And you guys played the Golden Gods a couple weeks ago, the Revolver Golden Gods Awards, which is basically rock and metal's Grammys. It's a pretty big deal, and Axl got the Lifetime Achievement Award. Which can you tell me a little bit about the experience that you guys had with the Golden Gods and what that show meant to you guys?
It was a great experience all around. It was a wonderful night. They did such a great job, with the whole production, and it was really cool that Jim and Don and Eddie were hosting, because those guys are awesome. And just a lot of great bands. It was really cool to see Slayer. That was amazing. And so it was a great experience. I'm usually a little nervous doing live TV, but that went off without a hitch. And apparently it sounded great. I haven't seen it yet. So, but it was a great night for everybody. And it's like they keep it real. So it's good to to support that and not some of the other awards are a little. Mm-hmm. I don't know what their criteria is these days for a Grammy or whatnot. Mm-hmm. But it was a good fit, and I'm glad we did it.
Awesome. Yeah, and it also gives you guys a chance to see some of the bands, especially with Rock on the Range and festival season. Some of the bands you're going to be playing that show with, and some of the newer acts and the newer bands as well, like the Pretty Reckless, 12 Foot Ninja. Some of the bands that they say is quote unquote the future of rock and roll gives them a platform as well. It brings both generations together, which is really cool to see. So yeah, it's a great show. Your other band, Dead Daisies, actually you guys played Uproar Festival. I actually got to catch you guys at Uproar last year here in Indianapolis, and I've got to say that you guys have a killer band with Dead Daisies. It's outstanding.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
To go out and play with those guys. Yeah.
Awesome. What's going on with Dead Days? Anything new on the horizon? I know it's you and Richard and Marco and a lot of other, great talented artists in that band.
Well, we are finishing up some songs that we wrote and recorded. I think we're going to put out an EP or something along those lines. And we're actually going to be back that way in July and August. We're doing a run with Bad Company and Leonard Skinner. Oh, nice. And then we're doing some shows with Def Leppard and Kiss. Nice.
Yeah, that Kiss and Def Leppard tour is going to be hitting here at the end of August, I believe. And so,
we will be there.
Awesome. I was not aware that you guys were going to be on that bill. That makes that bill even more impressive, and even more of a reason for people to come out and see that show, because you guys kill it on stage in the Dead Daisies.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it, man.
Awesome. With Guns N' Roses, you guys are getting ready at the end of this month to do your second Las Vegas residency at the end of May, middle of May to the end of May, or the beginning of June. Can you talk a little bit about how the Las Vegas residency originally came about, and what leads you guys to do a second one?
Well, I think it was just a matter of time. I think it's just a good fit for for a lot of rock bands, including Guns N' Roses, to go there and just, and camp out for a little bit and put on a great show for people, because Vegas is about entertainment, and that's what we are about, with the rock and roll edge, rock and roll twist. So, I'm not, I don't know the exact details, but as far as the first residency and how it came about, but I do know that it was amazing. It was they treated us great there. The show was awesome, and people came from all over to see one or two shows. Before it was over, we were talking about doing it again. How great it would be. So, and now we are. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. And there's really no better city to have a rock and roll show than Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City itself. I mean, it's like the epitome of rock and roll right there, I think. And I would assume the level of insanity just kind of gets taken up to another level when you play shows out in Vegas, I would assume.
Yes, it certainly can. It's ripe for that. But I don't know about the whole "what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas" thing these days. But
right.
But it's a lot of times, these days, it's like we get done with the show, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna go to bed now. Maybe 20 years ago, there's no way that would happen. But well, we all get older, but we're ready to rock and roll all the time, and I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Awesome. How does a show on the Vegas residency maybe compare to the typical Guns N' Roses show? Do you put anything special into the preparation, maybe visually or sonically or anything for those Vegas shows, or is it pretty much what you're going to see on a normal GNR tour?
Well, the last time that we played there, we did have a few features that were exclusive to Vegas. Could only be really. We had some incredibly long and high ego ramps for the guitar players to run out on. So they were literally like above you playing if you were down on the floor.
Nice.
And then we had a flying grand piano that actually would fly up in the air and play November Rain. And so we can't really bring that with us everywhere.
Right.
So, and I'm not sure what we're going to have this time. And unfortunately, we can't have the flying pianos at at festivals and whatnot.
Right.
But the good thing about Guns N' Roses is if you take away any gimmicks and explosions and the lights, if you just strip it down, it's a great band playing great songs, and that's what really counts when it comes to music of any kind and playing it for people.
Awesome. Now, as far as Rock on the Range, I know festivals can be, especially when a band has a catalog and discography as impressive as Guns N' Roses has, it can be very difficult to figure out what songs you want to play. But especially when it comes to the stage show, a lot of bands will put a little bit extra into the festival sets as well. Have you sat down to really think about what you're going to be bringing to the stage, as far as the stage show for Rock on the Range? Can fans expect anything special at Rock on the Range next week?
We have a list, and I wouldn't call it a set list. It's a list of songs to choose from, and it's a lot, and it's probably it's at least 4 hours worth of music. So once we get past the first couple songs, it's usually sort of anything goes. If we ever do fall into sort of a groove, I always tell people don't get used to it because it's going to change. So you never really know what's going to happen. But as far as it's going to be some kick-ass rock and roll from beginning to end, and we're going to play the classics, of course. You have to.
Right.
And shame on any bands who have a hit song and they don't want to play it anymore because that's not who they are. Because, that's how they got to be who they are. So, you always got to play the big hits and the classics. And if you have too many, then that's a problem most people would like to have. But we're going to play most of them. So, and we're just going to whatever feels right. It's going to be great.
Awesome. Now, I was doing some reading. I read, and I don't know if it's true or not. Did you do a project with Christian artist Larry Norman back in the day?
I certainly did.
I wasn't sure if
And,
that was for real or not. That's one of those things. Is like, is it just the internet, or did it really happen? How did that come about?
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you? Because he is a legend.
Yes, which I didn't know at the time. I found out later. But his younger brother, Charles Norman, is a very dear friend of mine, and we had met many years ago in Hollywood. He was playing bass for, at the time, for a band called Jetboy. We met out at a club one night, and we just kind of hit it off, and we started recording, and he introduced me to Larry. He was living in LA at the time. They had a studio, and we started just writing, and he told me that Larry had played some gospel rock and roll, and he had like a bit of a following when he was younger. He kind of downplayed it, but then we went to I started bringing up his name in conversations and stories, and a lot of people would just start freaking out, going, "You know Larry?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So it was a great experience to write with him and just see how he does his thing and everything, and just a wonderful man. And it was always great to be around him. I always had a good time.
Awesome. Yeah.
And so I'm very honored that I was able to experience that in my life.
Awesome. Yeah, because I was reading about that. It just sounds like it would be a very, very fun and cool experience to be a part of anything that Larry was a part of, especially now.
He was funny, and he was fun to be around. And he was a big Axl and big Guns N' Roses fan. He came to a few shows, and he was really very impressed.
Awesome.
So yeah, and just I still talk to Charles from time to time, and they had like an exhibit at a museum down here. I was like, to honor Larry, and my wife and I attended, and I got to say a few things, and so we miss him, and it was very, very cool to be able to work with Larry.
Absolutely. Now, finally, I have to ask: can we look forward to a follow-up to Chinese Democracy anytime in maybe the near future? Yes, there's going to have to be, and no, it's not going to be another 14 years, because I don't know if eventually some of us are going to start going away. I don't know if I'll make it another 14 years or whatever it's going to be. So there'll be some stuff out soon. Awesome. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that, because I absolutely love Chinese Democracy. Thank
you very much. I appreciate that, man.
It was a great album and a great release for GNR, and definitely looking forward to some new music in the near future. And had to ask if we can look forward to that, because I know a lot of people are ready for some Chinese Democracy follow-up. And absolutely. Dizzy, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me today. It's been fun. It's been an honor for me, and I'm looking forward to the show next weekend.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. We'll see you at Rock on the Range.
Okay.
All right. See ya. Thanks, Nina.